All right, let's talk about this absolute thriller down in New Orleans. The Lakers just went in there and snatched a huge road win from the Pelicans. And look, this wasn't just any win. It was a statement. A total nail-biter that all came down to one incredible final stretch. So how'd they pull it off? Let's break it down.
You know, for 3 whole quarters, this thing was a back-and-forth slugfest. But honestly, the entire game really came down to just the final 12 minutes. Seriously, every single play that mattered, every moment that defined the outcome, it all happened right there in the fourth quarter. It was just a masterclass in how to close out a tough game on the road.
And this right here tells the whole story. I mean, just look at how one-sided that final period was. It's a massive difference. The Lakers just went off, exploding for 32 points. And on the other end, they completely locked down the Pelicans, holding them to only 17. That's a 15-point swing in one quarter. That's how you dominate and steal a road win.
So the big question is, how did they do it? Well, it all boiled down to a classic star-powered showdown. When the lights were brightest and the pressure was on, the Lakers' 2 superstars just decided to put the team on their backs. They had one mission and one mission only: win this game.
And man, what a performance it was. Between LeBron James and Anthony Davis, they combined for a massive 60 points. Just think about that. That's more than half the team's entire offense coming from just 2 guys. We're talking about an absolute offensive explosion.
And what's so cool is how they did it. They complemented each other perfectly. You had Anthony Davis just dominating inside, 30 points, 12 rebounds. And then you've got LeBron matching him with 30 points of his own while basically being the floor general, orchestrating everything with 10 assists. They were a true 2-man wrecking crew out there.
Hey, and don't just take my word for it. Their own coach, J.J. Redick, he said it best after the game. This quote really nails it. It just captures the essence of their chemistry. When those two are locked in like they were tonight, it's just tough for any defense to even think about slowing them down. It's an impossible problem.
Okay, but let's pump the brakes for a second and rewind. Because for 3 whole quarters, this game was not a runaway. Not at all. It was a super tight, competitive battle. And a huge reason for that was an absolutely heroic performance from one of the Pelicans' rising stars. I'm talking about Trey Murphy III. The man had the game of his life, a career-high 42 points. He was just sensational, hitting shots from absolutely everywhere. I mean, this scoring explosion single-handedly kept New Orleans in the fight. He was matching the Lakers' superstar firepower, blow for blow. But in the end, even that heroic effort wasn't quite enough. The Pelicans just couldn't keep it going. When it mattered most, right down the stretch, they got inconsistent. And then came the mistakes, a series of really costly turnovers at the worst possible moments. And that, well, that proved to be their undoing.
And that right there brings us to the climax of the whole story, the fourth quarter takeover. This is the moment where the Lakers saw their opening. And they didn't just walk through it. Oh, no. They kicked the door down. They completely, totally flipped a switch.
Yeah, let's just stare at that number one more time, because it really is the defining stat of this entire game. 32-17. That's it. That is the anatomy of a fourth quarter collapse by one team and an incredible display of championship-level composure by the other.
And here's the most important part. Their stars delivered in the biggest moments. This wasn't just racking up points for the sake of it. No, this was timely, clutch shot-making. Every single time the Pelicans even hinted at a comeback, either LeBron or AD would just answer right back with a huge bucket. And that's what fueled that final game-winning run.
But of course, they didn't do it all by themselves. The supporting cast really stepped up big time. You had DeAndre Ayton being an absolute force inside, grabbing a huge double-double with 18 points and 11 boards. And then you have Marcus Smart, who hit some incredibly timely outside shots. You know, those huge momentum killers that just stabilized everything for the Lakers whenever things got a little shaky.
But you know, in every great takeover, there's always that one moment, that single play that stands out. It's the final blow, the dagger that officially, finally, puts the game away.
So, think about it. In a quarter that was just packed with huge plays, what was that one single unforgettable moment, the one that silenced the crowd and sealed the deal for good?
It was this, a deep three-pointer from LeBron James late in the clock from 31 feet out. Can you believe that? It was such an audacious, back-breaking shot. It just completely demoralized the Pelicans and put the game on ice. A true signature moment from the King.
So, after all that,
what does a win like this actually mean in the grand scheme of things? Because winning on the road against a really tough opponent like this, it's more than just another W in the standings. It's a statement. It's sending a message to the rest of the league about who this Lakers team is and what they could become.
And here's why it really matters. First off, this win pushes their winning streak to 3 games. But more importantly, it shows that with their stars healthy and clicking on all cylinders, they're starting to look like a truly formidable contender. They're building that critical momentum that you absolutely need as you head into the toughest part of the season.
And all of this leaves us with the ultimate question, right? You've got a team that can win these grinded-out games on the road. They're led by 2 superstars who can take over at any moment. And they've got a solid supporting cast. So is this the formula? Is this what a championship team looks like? Well, only time will tell for sure. But tonight was a very, very convincing argument.
If you enjoyed this broadcast, please like and subscribe to the Ogre News channel for more updates.